Hi, it's Maurice here from Davis Copeland, and we're doing the first ever Behind the Bar series. And we have Angela Lawrence, co-founder of Chubby's. Thank you for having us, Angela.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're more than welcome.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna ask you a couple questions, how you came up with the brand, and just dive deep. Very casual conversation. That being said, let's jump right into it. What year did you start?
We opened Chubby's in 2017, but I started working on it in 2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So early 2015, late 2017. So I just say it took 3 years to open.
And what would you say is the one word that's synonymous with your brand?
Right now, like 7 years later, I would say the word that always comes to me is vibe. I feel like just like the feedback that we've gotten from guests ongoingly
Right.
is what's unique around, about a restaurant, not just, the food and the service, but it's this overall vibe that when you walk into the restaurant, people are always saying how they can feel this energy, this vibe. And it's not just the music, it's just kind of like an integration of everything.
And what inspired you to open up this great restaurant?
Well, the thing is, I always say that Chubby's is a kind of like a love letter to my friendship with Janet Zuccarini, who owns Gusto 54, which is the parent company. And Janet and I have been friends for over 24 years, and we always talked about working together. And initially, she only had one restaurant, and so it was never about working in the restaurant, industry together. It was always going to be just like something else. We had all these ideas, and then over time, she decided that she's going to open more restaurants. And we started talking about the possibility of opening a Jamaican restaurant. And I did not work in the restaurant industry at the time.
Okay.
It was just kind of like, a bit of a pipe dream, I guess. And then she went to New York, saw this restaurant there, Jamaican restaurant. She goes, oh my God, it's great, this and that. You've got to see it. It's called Miss Lily's. And so we went to New York together, and we went to Miss Lily's and we checked it out. And I'm like, oh my God, we could do this in Toronto. We could do something like this. Again, I was not in the restaurant industry at the time.
Okay.
And then a few years later, she opened Gusto 101, which was her second restaurant. And I ended up going in just to help out, to answer the phone. And I ended up coming into the company. And when I was asked to come into the company, that was my question, are we going to do the Jamaican concept? And Janet's like, yeah. So we didn't know when we would do it, but we were very committed to opening a Jamaican restaurant together.
Okay. And years later, what are you most proud of?
I think there's so many things, to be proud of. Just the success, the overall success of the business is one thing. How people have received it in the community, people that come from out of town, we have people showing up with their luggage, like they come straight from the airport. They've seen Chubby's on, social media, and they just want to try it. First thing they want to do when they hit Toronto. We were, I don't know if I'd say inducted, but for the third time, we are now a Michelin recommended restaurant for the third year in a row.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And so that's an amazing, amazing achievement, something that was not even on my radar. When we're thinking about this concept and bringing this concept to life. I'm super proud of just the experience in our team and what they are able to create for guests,
Right.
Which they do an amazing job of, and they do it consistently. Obviously our food is great, but I also love the fact that we are very committed to the community. The Black community, we're always looking for Black suppliers to work with. We've made basically an official partnership with Helping Hands Jamaica.
Okay.
So that we have a way to give back to Jamaica, and we just have a lot of different commitments and things that we're doing that we think can make a difference. So yeah, lots to be proud of.
And in this stretch, any challenges along the way, or what's one major challenge that you've experienced along the way?
Well, definitely in the last 7 years, it was COVID. We had just opened. We were looking towards having our first super profitable year, because you're open. You don't expect to be profitable for a few years, So everything was aligned in 2020 that we were going to have our best summer ever. We're going to have all of these things happen in 2020. And then the pandemic came along and it became all about keeping our heads above water. And so we had to pivot. We started doing a lot more takeout. We created a grocery store in the restaurant so people could come and get staples. We did whatever we could just to stay alive. So that was a huge challenge. But also coming out of the pandemic was very difficult. We had a lot of challenges around finding people to work, especially in our kitchen, to reestablish our team, but also just to get that momentum again. Very challenging. And so I'm happy to say that things have turned around a lot since then.
Right.
But it really put us back. It set us back from where we thought we'd be. But that was for everybody, right?
Okay. And what's the one thing that you want everyone to know about the Chubby's brand?
I think we have a great origin story, and I think that a lot of people don't understand or know who is actually behind, this concept, and that basically I couldn't have done it without Janet, and Janet wouldn't have done it without me. This is really about our friendship and our love and respect for Jamaica. Over the 24 plus years of friendship, our best friendship. We've been to Jamaica several times before. Janet's gone on her own. She loves Jamaica. But when we go, it's not just about staying in a hotel. Like we've stayed, seen my family and done different things where, Janet definitely, I trust her palate with most cuisines, but even with Jamaican cuisine, I think that that's just one of her talents, is that she really knows how to take an idea, a cuisine, and turn it into something that is very relatable and approachable for a lot of people. So for me, I just feel like, I love our story, and then I love our ongoing, narrative and story that we tell.
Okay. Yeah. 2 more questions.
Sure.
What's your own version of elevated hospitality? What do you do that's different from everyone else?
I personally think that hospitality is in the details.
Okay.
And I really think that whether it's remembering a guest's name, or it's the type of cutlery, glassware, the ingredients that we have in our food, the things that we have on the walls, the decor is incredibly important. The fact that we have real plants, that's not that's a very intentional thing, that we do not put fake plants in our restaurant or outside. Like, we want everything to feel quite alive and authentic. And I feel that when you create that level of authenticity, people feel it. Yeah. And it's an elevated experience when people can see that you put thought into the details. And that's how I would definitely describe what we do here. It's that we put a lot of thought and have put a lot of thought into a lot of the details, including, for example, the wall of black and white pictures outside the bathroom. Those are mostly my family.
Wow.
And it was deliberate to have black and white pictures. They had to be pictures that were taken in Jamaica. We asked other staff members who of Jamaican origin, like, if you have any pictures. I would say maybe 4 are from other people, and the rest are all my family, including pictures of my grandparents and my great-grandfathers up there. I need to put one of my great-grandmother, and I miss that.
Okay.
So all of that somehow is an energy, I think, that can be felt, and people feel it, even if they can't put their finger on what it is that makes us unique and why this experience is different.
And you're right, because this is all purpose built. This is built from scratch, and that was the feeling I got when I first visited. From the washrooms to the details to the glassware, the drinkware, seems like it was all purposeful and selected.
Yes.
That's good. So lastly, what's next for the brand? How do you scale up from here?
Well, I think that there's things that we're doing now that were never actually part of the original concept. And so it's amazing to kind of see things happen in this organic way. We have this event that's the first summer that we've done it. I think it's the fourth Sunday of every summer. It was called Sound System Sundays.
Okay.
And it was just a way to bring people into the restaurant, but as with a party vibe and an opportunity to do things in a different way. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that whole concept came out of an organic evolution of the brand. And now we're looking at doing another event-based idea on a regular basis. And again, I think it's just an organic expression of the brand. And this one will be more focused on music, acoustic music in the space. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that is also happening out of the connection with the community.
Right.
And that was definitely part of the original concept for me, which was eventually, how is this going to be something that is going to help the community, impact the community, be a place where people feel at home, and not only just to come and eat, but also to be here to celebrate and to spend other, occasions here.
Right.
And so I think that our team has done an amazing job of creating these opportunities through events like Sound System Sunday, and then this other soon to launch music-focused event. As far as growing the business, I think that there's so much that's unique about Chubby's, and a lot of it has to do with this building, and that this building is what took so long to open the restaurant.
Right.
Because I don't think a lot of people realize that it's actually an old building. So I think it's around 135-year-old row house.
Wow.
But only half of this building is old. The other half is an addition. We're sitting in the new part of the building. Okay. And this is a 2-story addition. And so it was like restoring an old building, mm-hmm. and then building a building behind the old building. It's basically what Chubby's is. We doubled the size. We were able to build a kitchen. Our main kitchen is in the basement. A lot of people don't know that. And then we have a finishing kitchen upstairs. But I don't think it would be easy to duplicate this experience of Chubby's. And so I think it will be, if and when we decide to open another location, whether it's in this city or another city, it will be something that will happen organically, I feel. Yeah. It will just be like, okay, the business is doing this well. Right. It makes sense for us now to go ahead and launch another location. So that's all I can say about that right now.
That's good. Well said.
Yes.
Well, thank you for having us. I think that's what's missing. True hospitality is also a form of engagement in conversations like this. So we look forward to seeing you again. And thanks again.